Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadashi, 7th chapter, Trupti Deepa Prakaranam. So there its question is about the whole thing is analysis of the Brihadaranya Upanishad mantra. So essentially, Atmanam Ched Vijaniyat Ayam Asmi Iti Purushaha Kimichan Kasya Kamaya Sariram Anusanjvared. So here, up to this, we are analyzing what is Purushaha. So exactly who is the Jiva. So in the process, we analyze who is Jiva and Jagat and Ishvara also. And now is looking at the term I am. I am stand for this. And the objection was that this stands for an object, whereas the Atma, the Self, Asmiti, this I am is aparoksham, immediate and direct, and that how come he is using the I am as this, which is an objectification of the subject. Subject cannot be objectified and object cannot be a subject, but it's using a this as though it is an object, whereas it is aparoksham, immediate and direct as the subject itself. So how come that is the scripture using I am? Therefore the explanation is it is used as the initial stages to understand that you have to go through the scriptures to understand what exactly is the nature of the self. So in order to, first there is a paroksha jnanam, then aparoksha jnanam. So in the hierarchy of this, there is first ignorance, and that ignorance is called ajnanam. Ajnanam leads to the avaranam, covers the nature of the truth, and the nature of the truth, therefore there is a vikshepam, projection of something other than the truth is projected, and that is vikshepam. And then it goes into the teaching. So here he is illustrating how the paroksha and aparoksha jnanam comes into picture in the analysis of who am I and what is the nature of Brahman. So using the 10th man story, first 10th man, everybody is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, and 10th man is missing without recognizing the one who is counting himself, that himself is the 10th man. So that aham the dashamaha, I am the 10th man, and without knowing it, is only looking for 10th man everywhere, even though 10th man is right there as this self that is. But is looking for 10th man elsewhere, obviously he cannot find it, and therefore everybody is crying, and therefore the 10th man is drowned in the river, and therefore there is the vikshepa, the projection of something due to this avarana. So vikshepa includes that everybody is crying for the 10th person, even though 10th person is right there. Therefore ignorance of the 10th person leads to a projection that 10th man has died, and therefore they are crying. All that are repercussions of the fundamental problem, and the fundamental problem is not knowing I am the 10th man that I am looking for. In the same way that this when everybody is looking for, a compassionate teacher says 10th man is, 10th man is alive, and he crossed the ocean, and he is right here, not somewhere else, not after something he is going to prove. He is going to prove that 10th man is right here and right now also. And when they hear that there is the crying has stopped, because of the faith in the words, not that they are seeing the 10th man. So faith in the words of the scriptures, or the faith in the words of the teacher, that there is a 10th man and he is alive, so there is no reason for you to cry. And that's what is essentially indirect knowledge. And that's what we covered. So, namruto dashamosti iti, and srutvapta vachanam tada parokshatvena dashamam veti swargadi lokavatu. So, namrutaha dashamaha asti iti. So, 10th man is not died, and he is asti, he is here. Asti means he is here, right here also. And srutva aptavachanam tada. So, having listened to a dependable teaching of a teacher there, who is observing all these sufferings of the people, and out of compassion, he doesn't have to tell, but he tells that there is no reason for you to cry, because he knows that the 10th man is right there, and you could see the problem also, and therefore he says first assurance that because they are not ready to listen to him, was assured that there is a 10th man, he crossed the river, and there is right here, and therefore there is no reason for you to cry. And therefore, parokshatvena dashamam veti. So, by indirectly they know that there is a 10th man, not that they are seeing the 10th man right there, but they know the 10th man is there because of the shraddha on the words of the teacher there. And the teacher is able to do that shraddha because he is seeing right there. So, I had to go to a teacher who sees the truth. So, tad vijnanartam sa gurum eva bigachet sotriyam brahmanishtam. The one who sees the truth and also recognizes the truth and able to communicate. That's the type of teacher. And the one who sees the truth is not just his own imaginations or his own experience, but experience validated by the scriptures, and that's what essentially the teacher is. So he is the teacher that tad vijnanartam gurum eva abhigachet samitbanihi sotriyam brahmanishtam. So approach a teacher who is well established in the scriptures and himself is established in the truth, and that is essentially a faith in the teacher's words is required. That is called shraddha, and shraddha is required for the evolution of the individual. Here the 10th man, missing man, there is apta vakyam. A dependable person says that there is a 10th man who crossed the river, therefore there is no reason for you to cry. And now that is only indirect knowledge, paroksha jnanam. Now the paroksha jnanam has to convert into aparoksha jnanam, and that's what is in the next sloka is illustrated. So let's read the 27. Tvameva dashamositi, tvameva dashamositi, gana itva pradarsitaha. Gana itva pradarsitaha aparokshataya jnatva hrushyatvena naroditi tvameva dasamo niti guna itva pradarsitaha aparokshataya jnatva hrushyatvena naroditi. So, guna itva, on counting, tvameva dasamaha asi, you are the 10th man. Tvameva dasamaha, you are indeed is the 10th man. You are counting everybody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you are counting yourself as the 10th man. So, the 10th man is there, but you are the 10th man. Tattvamasi, you are that. What you are looking for is what you are, and you are already there. So what I am looking for is what I am. That is called Tattvamasi statement. That what you are looking for, Tat is Tvamasi, you are that. And this is the 10th man you are looking for is Tvamasi, you are that. So with that becomes a immediate and direct. There is no question of searching for the 10th man anywhere, and there is no the doubt about it, because he himself doesn't doubt his own existence and that he is conscious entity and his existence there. So therefore, when the teacher says Tattvamasi, you are that what? You are what you are looking for. What I am looking for? I am looking for happiness only. But says you are the source of happiness only. So there is no reason for you to look anywhere else for the happiness. And that's exactly what the problem here also. So therefore, aparokshataya jnanam. So by directly knowing that I am the 10th man that I thought I'm missing, I'm never missing myself anywhere. because I am the one who has to search for everything else. I cannot miss myself. Say, what are you going? I am looking for myself. Where are you looking? I am going somewhere else to find out where I am. So that shows that means I have not understood the truth. But that's what we are doing. We are doing, I am looking for what? Happiness. Where is the happiness? You say, is happiness coming from myself? Then why are you looking all over the place? That's my confusion. So even after knowing that happiness is from your own self, after the class is over, you're still going around for happiness objects, because that knowledge is become only aparoksha jnanam. It is not internalized. So therefore, nididhyasitavya, you have to contemplate on it continuously, because there are still raga dveshas are still there, that is pushing one to go after happiness outside. So they were tvameva dasamo siti. So tvameva dasamaha asi iti ganayitva pradarshitaha. So having counted, and now he himself counts and then recognize that I am the 10th man. So aparokshataya jnatva. So immediate direct knowledge that the 10th man is alive and 10th man is right here, because he himself is the 10th man. So hushvate hushateva na rodati. So there is no reason for you to cry anymore, because I was crying, but there is no 10th man. The 10th man is already there and you are the 10th man. Therefore, he is happy. So happiness hushyati eva. So everyone is happiness and no more suffering. These are the two stages. One is contented, another is no shokam. And all that being pointed out here using the 10th man story. So essentially, there is a paroksha jnanam. When the teacher says there is a 10th man, that is a paroksha jnanam, and you are the 10th man, is called aparoksha jnanam. So there are two states of the jnanam. First is to satisfy, for the mind is ready to inquire. That's what is required. Why you need a paroksha jnanam? Paroksha jnanam is meant for preparing the mind to do the inquiry. Otherwise, mind is agitated and looking for all over the place. You sit down here, first find out that there is no reason for you to search for it anywhere, and the source of happiness is coming from you. If I am coming from you, why am I searching? That's exactly the problem. So find out why you are the source of happiness. So logically also, you have to inquire within, deep within, until the knowledge sinks in. Now we go to sloka 28. Ajnanavruta vikshepa Ajnanavruta vikshepa Dvividajnana truptayaha Dvividajnana truptayaha Sokapagama icchete Sokapagama icchete Yojaniyaschidatmani Together, Ajnanavruta vikshepa Dvividajnana truptayaha Sokapagama icchete Yojaniyaschidatmani. Now he is giving complete list of all the items here. Ajnana avruta vikshepa Dvividajnana truptayaha Soka apagama iti ete yojaniyaha. So this yojaniyaha, iti yojaniya, these have to be applied. There are several steps involved, starting with ajnanam. Ajnanam is ignorance. That is ignorance of what? This is a fundamental ignorance, not ignorance of chemistry or ignorance of biology and all that. Ignorance of chemistry is only objective ignorance. I don't know this, I don't know that. So when I know this, how do I know this? By appropriate pramana. For things to see, I have to open my eyes, called pratyaksha pramana. For things to learn, like chemistry, is not something to see, but something to understand by going to a right teacher, a chemistry teacher only. Without going to a biology teacher will not help me to learn chemistry. So going to a chemistry teacher, learning chemistry, ajnana of chemistry, the ignorance of chemistry is removed by the jnana of chemistry. This is the objective case. But we are talking about not that kind of objective ignorance. It is the very subject. I don't know myself. but I think I know myself, and that's a bigger problem. If I don't know chemistry, but I think I know chemistry, and if I try to operate, that's a different story. People say you're stupid. But here is a very fundamental problem where I don't know myself, and then still acting I know myself because I am this. All biodata, ego, everything else is about how glorious I am, is on pampering about this only because I do not know myself. I can do that with knowing I am, I can play the game of life. That's a different story. But without knowing and operating, then it becomes a problem. So ajnana, number one is ajnanam, ignorance. Avrutam is essentially covering it. So covers what? Covers not ajnana, covers the truth. So I am Sachidananda Swarupam is covered by not knowing who I am. So that is what Mula Avidya, the fundamental ignorance, is called ajnana. Avrutam, it's covering, that means not knowing the truth about myself. The same way in the deep sleep, in the dream state also, there is a ajnana, not knowing myself. It's covered what? That I am a waker sleeping comfortably after scrumptious the dinner, of not knowing that I dream myself I am starving in the dream. Even though my stomach is in the waking state is full, I am having a thirsty and hungry, all that in the dream state, and the water on the table will not help me. I need a dream water to quench the dream thirst. And the same way, there it is avarana, the ajnana avrutam. Avrutam is covering by nidra shakti. Here a maya shakti covers my true nature. So ajnana avrutam vikshepam, which means now projecting something other than. So this is the third aspect. First is ajnanam, ignorance. Second is avaranam, covering. And the third aspect is projection and vikshepa. And then dvida jnanam, then two stages of jnanam. One is the paroksha jnanam and aparoksha jnanam. So first one is ignorance, then is the avrutam, avarana, the covering up, and then the vikshepa, projection, then the two, which is essentially the indirect knowledge and the direct knowledge. So dvida jnanam, then truptayaha soka apagamaha. Truptayaha, I am contented myself that I am full, and therefore soka apagama, therefore there is no more suffering. These two again is prescribed as two stages, as the recognition that I am full by myself, therefore there is no atmaniyeva atmanatushtaha. Therefore I am happy by myself. Why am I happy? Because I am full already. So therefore prajahati yadakaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyeva atmanatushtaha. So he is content that by the self that I am is full by myself. There is no reason for me that I want this, I want this. If it comes, is okay. If it doesn't come also, it's okay. Because then if it comes because of the prarabdha, if it doesn't come also, it is of the prarabdha. Therefore prarabdha is lived through, but at the same time dependence on something other than oneself is the suffering. So jnani also goes, does that, this, and he's happy with this and happy with that and all that. At the same time, he doesn't depend. If it doesn't come, he doesn't sit down and cry and suffer the consequence of the disappearance. He is contented, say, prarabdha brought me this, therefore you enjoy, whether it's a good or bad also. So that is the nature of ajnanam. So therefore ajnana, avruta, vikshepa, projection of something different from what it is vikshepa. And dvida jnanam, dvida means two jnanam, the paroksha jnanam first and aparoksha jnanam. Truptayaha, contentment comes only when you are full. So when I am hungry, I want to eat some more. So how long you are going to eat? Until I am full. Then says, have some more, sir. Say, no more, because I am up to the neck, I have eaten. So therefore contentment comes only when you are full. When you are half empty, there is no contentment yet. Therefore truptayaha means recognition that I am full by myself as I am. There is no need for me to anything more, cannot add me any more for happiness for me, because I am full as well. That means aham brahmasmi. That has to be understood. Truptayaha. Soka apagama. Therefore there is no reason for me to cry anymore. Crying comes only when I don't have something. So, and I don't have it and I'm longing for it. I want it to make myself full. So if I'm already full, then even though I may like that, I used to like it, now I don't care for it because I'm already full with it. So that's why soka apagamaha iti ete, in this, like this so-called, essentially he has given the list of 7 here, and he's going to discuss these 7 aspects exhaustively. First a little bit of it, and then more and more exhaustively on this. One is the ignorance, another is the covering up, and third is the vikshepa projection, fourth and fifth are the indirect knowledge and the direct knowledge. Then truptayaha, contentment, and therefore the soka apagama, therefore the removal of all the suffering. Iti 7, iti ete, yojaniya siddhatmani. So yojaniya, this should be applied for siddhatmani, for the conditioned consciousness or for the jiva. So this has to be applied for jiva, not for Paramatma. Kutastha Chaitanyam doesn't need all this. It's only for the siddhatmani, for the one who thinks himself, I am this. Siddhatmani is that conditioned consciousness who thinks that I am only the BMI or body, mind, intellect, I am this and not the Kutastha Chaitanyam. To that one has to apply this. Therefore, yojaniya should be thought over or applied. So these 7 have been identified now. And this 7 now relates to not only for the 7th man, now how the ignorance of the jiva is being affected is going to be discussed in the next sloka. 29. Samsara sakta chittaha, samsara sakta chittaha, sanchidabhasa kadachana, sanchidabhasa kadachana, swayam prakasha kutastam, swayam prakasha kutastam, swatatvam naiva, swatatvam naiva vetyayam, swatatvam naiva vetyayam, satatvam naiva vetyayam, vetyayam. So samsara sakta chittaha san chidabhasa kadachana swayam prakasha kutastam swatatvam naiva vetyayam. So here is applying to this ignorance of the oneself. So he is taking one by one. First is the ignorance. What is the ignorance? Is being pointed out here. So I am chidabhasaha samsara saktaha chittaha san. So I am chidabhasa. I am this chidabhasa. I am this or this chidabhasa. This conditioned consciousness, this jiva. Samsara sakta chittaha. So samsara asakta chittaha, whose mind is always in the samsara. Samsara means the whole life. I have this, I want this, I am localized. All the 9 yards that are involved in the samsara. That means I am a jiva, I am this body, mind, intellect. This is different from me, and these are mine. I am this, and these are mine. That's called ahankara, mamakara. And when the ahankara, mamakara comes, then I want this, I don't want that, I don't want that. So raga dveshas, where I am going after things that I like and I am getting rid of things I don't like, and the whole pursuit of life after life, the whole vinaya minyo sayam pratah sasira vasanto punarayataha kalakridati. So this day and day in out, every day, everything, month wise, on the seasons wise, years and years, what I am doing for? I am trying to gain what I want, get rid of what I don't like. Because what I want will give me happiness, and what I don't like gives me unhappiness, and that's what is samsara. So I am running around whole life itself from birth to death, longing for happiness and getting rid of unhappiness, and this goes on not only in this life. Punarapi maranam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, jatare sayanam, yasamsare bahudustare krupaya pare pahimurare. So it is this death, born, being born, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, giving death and born, giving death and born. So this is what is called samsara. Samsara asakta chittaha san. So having essentially attached to this asakta, attached to this samsara, chidabhasaha kadachana, says never before in any time that I think swatattvam. Tattvam is the truth about swa, about myself, not knowing the true nature of myself, that I am swayam prakasha kutastam, and I am of the nature of pure existent consciousness which is limitless. So swayam prakasham means I am self-effulgent, that I am all the time there. Self means I am self-revealing also. So I know myself all the time. No one says I don't know myself. What they think is I know myself as this. That's where the confusion is. And therefore, Swayam Prakasha Kutastam na eva veti. I do not recognize myself. I do not realize myself. I am the pure existent consciousness that I am. And taking myself what I am not as I am. And therefore, this Siddhi, Chidabhasa, Kadachana, never thinking that I am not this samsari. Therefore, I am not this samsara asak that I am involved in. I want this. So, ahankara, mamakara, along with the ragadveshas. There are 4 aspects. Ahankara, that means I am this. Mamakara, I want this. This is mine. And the ragadvesha, and longing for what I don't have, and getting rid of what I dislike. And these are called the dushta chatushtayam. The four things that need to be get rid of, and by sadhana chatushtayam, by the proper sadhana, and that has to be recognized. Here we are talking about where is the ignorance of my own self, because swam tattvam naiva vechayam. So na eva veti. So I do not know that I am swayam tattvam, my real nature I do not know. That becomes I know a little bit, but I don't know completely. So my true nature means my complete nature is I never know. Na veti. That is what essentially is the problem. So ignorance is being identified. So in the other case example, ignorance of the 10th man is missing, not knowing the 10th man is myself. Here ignorance of myself, Ananda Swarupa I am looking for, not knowing I am the source of Ananda. That Anandamev Anantam. That means Aham Brahmasmi, not knowing. That is Swatattvam. My true nature is I am already happy, not knowing that I am looking for happiness. Also we can interpret. So that is the fundamental starting point, ignorance of the self. Now ignorance of the self contributes to avarana. That's what is the next step. So avarana is going to be explained here, and avarana and vikshepa are being projected in the next sloka. Nabhati nasti kutastha iti vakti prasangataha karta bhoktahamasmiti vikshepam pratipajyate. So prasangataha kutasthana asti nabhati. So nabhati asti kutastha iti bhakti prasangataha. So now in the conversations or in relation to this truth, that prasangam is not only prasangam or prakasheshana sangataha in all my relationships. So this is the truth, because I am operating, whether I say it or not, I am operating, what is that? Na bhati, na asti kutastham. The kutastham, I am pure consciousness that is all pervading, infinite Brahman. See, there is no, I cannot be, how can I be infinite? So I do not accept the asti na bhati. So it cannot be true, it cannot be recognized, it is nasti. Here is, I know I am conscious entity, but the consciousness that I am is infiniteness, is not accepted, and therefore nasti, kutastha chaitanyam nasti. This is true by even scholars also, because people think that consciousness is only an attribute of an object, attribute of the self, and even Bhagavan Ramanuja says essentially the dharmibhuta jnana, dharmabhuta jnana and dharmi jnana. So for them, consciousness is two types. One is self-consciousness and the consciousness of something other than yourself, because there is something other than yourself for them. But for the Advaitin, there is nothing other than yourself. So self-consciousness is self-existing, and that is Anantameva. So there is no consciousness of something in principle. Everything is in my consciousness, and I am that consciousness that pervades everything, and that is what is the Advaitic teaching. So Nabhati Nasti Kutastaha iti Bhakti Prasangataha. So not only in my relationship all, I take it granted that this is the truth. What is the truth? I don't believe in that I am infinite, because if I am infinite, why do I feel I am finite? So that is the essentially now Bhakti, iti Bhakti. So this is what the knowledge of everybody is. Everybody say, who are you? I am only this. In fact, I feel that I am so limited by the whole universe, I become smaller and smaller. The whole problems of the world is so big that I cannot solve. And looking at the problems, it says, I am limited by so many things, constraints in life, and conditioned by so many, not this, desa, kala, vastu, parichinnatvam. This is the basic limitations, space-wise, time-wise, object-wise. I am so limited compared to the whole universe. There are galaxies and galaxies and galaxies, vast universe, infinite universe. I am insignificant guy in the whole universe. And that's what is the bhakti. That's what is the knowledge of an individual. And karta bhokta ham asmiti. So what should I do? I had to solve this problem. What? I want to become happy. And how do I do? By karta. I perform an action, and action is for what? So that I gain something, and that makes me happy. So everybody will perform an action only for one reason, because by getting the results of that action, you are going to be happy. Otherwise, you are not. So I don't perform an action, I just do it because I had to do it. I said no. Even those actions that are really obligatory actions, one performs, because in performing your obligatory duties, that makes you not unhappy. Therefore, that is happiness itself. So karta bhokta, kartrutva bhavam is there. As long as kartrutva bhavam is there, that I am a doer and this has to be done. If I don't take care of my family, who is going to take care? So I had to go to office. I know all that Vedanta can wait, but I had to do this. Therefore, I am a doer notion is always there. I am a karta. And bhokta, I had to enjoy life, and therefore there is a desire prompted actions also. And I want to eat good food. Therefore, food is required for the body. Why do I want this good food or this tasty food? That is what bhokta is. So sense enjoyment becomes a reason for the action also. Karta bhokta, I am the enjoyer. Aham asmi iti, I am the one who is enjoying. I am the one who is the karta. So whenever there is a notion that I am a doer and an enjoyer of the results of the action, then not only there is a tangible result, that is immediate result, but it leaves the impression with the longing or repeating that experience if it is favorable, avoiding that experience if it is unfavorable, and that's called essentially vasanas. Ragadveshas are developed because of kartrutva bhavam and bhoktutra bhavam. So karta bhokta hamasmiti is called vitshepam pratipadyate. This is called vitshepam, projecting that I am the karta and I am the bhokta. So what happens if the knowledge? Kartutvam, the action will go on and the enjoyment so-called is going on, but the notion that I need that for my enjoyment, I am a doer, that notion will go away. You see, either by surrendering to the Lord Himself is doing through me, and that becomes a Ishwararpita buddhi. Or he says that this Prakriti evacha karmani kriyamanani sarvachaha yah pasyati tadatmanam akartaram sapasyati. The one who says that Prakriti itself is doing all the action. I am not doing it, but I am just a witnessing consciousness, observing the Prakriti doing. Then it becomes a knowledge. The knowledge itself, even though body, mind and intellect is performing the action. That's called, there is no more kartrutva bhavam, therefore there is no bhoktrutva bhavam, and aham idi will not be there. Vitshepam pratipadyate, and this is called vitshepam. So he has covered here. First is ajnanam, not knowing myself, and then projection that what I am not as I am. Therefore, I reject that I am the infinite, I am pure consciousness existence, and then I am a local guy, I am a finite, this body, my intellect I am, and I have to do in order to solve my problem. What is the problem? I want to become infinite. By how? By gaining this, gaining this, and so on. So, karta, bhokta, ahamasmiti. Vitshepam pratipadyate. So this is called vitshepam, and this is essentially pratipadyate. This is superimposed on myself, and I think I am a karta and I am a bhokta, where I am not really a karta and a bhokta. Even though actions are being done, it's only taking unnecessarily on top of myself something that really doesn't belong. A simple example is a villager was going to the town. In those days, they used to have big trunks and made with the metal cases, and he saw so many people are carrying big boxes, trunks, to the place, and he felt sorry for the train. So after getting with his bag, he wanted to help the train so that train will not have to carry all these boxes that when he is going. So he took the box and put it on his head. Says, what are you doing? I am helping the train to carry that. And he is sitting in the train with the head on top of his head, the trunk. The train is going to carry irrespective of what he does, but unnecessarily now he is having a additional burden on his health. So in the same way, the Prakriti does all the actions, but I am the doing and putting on top of my head, and therefore suffering the consequence of that action. And that is what essentially, we may laugh at the villager, but that's what we are doing. So karta bhokta ahamasmi iti vitshepam pratipadyate, and that's what is called vitshepam. So he covered the ajnanam, then the avaranam, and the vitshepam. Three aspects are covered here. Asti, now we'll do 31. Asti kutastha ichadau, asti kutastha ichadau, paroksham vetti vartaya, paroksham vetti vartaya, paschat kutastha evasmiti, paschat kutastha evasmiti, evam vetti vicharataha, evam vetti vicharataha. Asti kutastha ichadau, paroksham vetti vartaya, paschat kutastha evasmiti, evam vetti vicharataha. Now he is going to the next two. First he covered the ignorance, and that is the ajnana, then avrutam, covering it, and the vikshepa, projection. Now he is going to cover the indirect knowledge, paroksha jnanam, and aparoksha jnanam, and his immediate knowledge. Asti kutastha ichadau paroksham vetti vartaya. So vartaya, by the proper news. Vartaya means having heard. Varta means you have to hear. So having heard, shrotavyaha. So having heard by who? By a dependable person. And dependable person is the one who knows the truth. And therefore having one who knows the truth. What does the truth he knows? He knows that who am I and who is he also. That means he not only knows who he is, he knows that the he is, that self he is self in all. So he is the one who knows not only himself, myself also he knows. Because the self himself is the self in all. Therefore he knows myself also. So therefore he is a dependable person, and shrotavyaha, he has studied the scriptures and therefore he is Brahmanishta and established in that. Therefore, having known, and to that teacher, when the teacher says, that's called Vartaya. So he is giving the news. When given the news, what? When I turn the TV on, say I hear what's happening in the Afghanistan or somewhere, and I take it now, I have the indirect knowledge, Paroksha Jnanam. I don't have direct perceptual knowledge. I don't know what's really happening there. But I believe that is Arthavakyam, a dependable person, a reporter whom I trust that he is telling me the truth. Therefore, when he says that this is what happening, and having faith in the words of the reporter, I have now knowledge of what really is happening. If the reporter is not really telling the truth, then I have wrong news. But if the reporter is dependable and tells the truth as it is, then it is a correct news. And this news is only Aptavakyam. It is a Paroksha Jnanam. It is only indirect knowledge. So, Asti Kutastha Ityado Paroksham Veti. So, consciousness Asti. Pure existent consciousness is Asti. Then what good is that for me? You are that Tattvamasi. You are that pure existent consciousness, infiniteness. That is essentially Brahman. So, not only Brahman Asti, but it says you are Tattvamasi has to be there. The teaching is essentially Ichyadav Paroksham Veti Vartaya. So, first indirect knowledge that about the nature of the Brahman, and then nature of the world also. So, Brahma Satyam and Jagan Mithya. Those are the two aspects of the Paroksha knowledge. Paschat Kutastha Eva Asmiti Evam Vetti Vicharaha. So from the direct knowledge, Paroksha Jnanam, I am going to the Aparoksha Jnanam. Paschat, afterwards, Kutastha Eva Asmiti. I am that pure existent consciousness. I am Satchidananda Swarupam. Eva Kutastha Eva Aham Asmiti Evam Vetti Vicharaha. By inquiring into the nature of myself, and find out, discover what is the real truth. That is Paschat Kutastam Eva Asmiti. I am the Satchidananda Swarupam. This has to be learned. That becomes a Aparoksha Jnanam. So going from Aparoksha Jnanam, I have to go to the Aparoksha Jnanam. So he has listed all the things here in terms of the first is Ajnanam, then Avaranam, Vikshepam, then the Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam. The result of the Aparoksha Jnanam is going to cover in the next shloka. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.